So it recently came out that Jon Jones has split with his management team after 11 years. Now, Jon Jones' management team was called First Round Management. That was Malky Kawa and Abe Kawa. That's kind of the main reason you know their names, is because of their affiliation and management with Jon Jones over the last 11 years. Now, this was a statement released on their website or on their Instagram, basically saying that after 11 years, we've decided to part ways and it ended amicably. Well, these sorts of things are never normally decided by one person. By two people. It's normally one person that goes, I'm kind of done, and that's the way that works out. But the thing for me that's interesting is they put up with 11 years of Jon Jones misstepping, misbehaving, getting various misdemeanors, breaking laws. You know, he hit a pregnant woman with his car. He failed multiple drug tests. He tested positive for cocaine. He DUIs times 2, 3, I don't even know. He has had a rap sheet of errors, missteps, miscommunications, bad behaviour, putting his foot in his mouth. And they've put up with that the entire time. Now, there obviously is a sort of a, excuse me, there is a second half to that coin in the fact that he is the pound for pound, or was the pound for pound, I should say, because Kamaru Usman is now, even though those things are subjective anyway, the pound for pound best fighter on the planet, making first round management a lot of money and winning a lot of fights in the process. So you do take the rough with the smooth to that effect sometimes. But the most recent thing with Jon Jones is it came out that he asked for $30 million for the Francis Ngannou fight, guaranteed. Jon Jones has refuted that claim, and First Round Management have also refuted that claim, but the UFC says that's what happened. First Round Management also said that Jon Jones wanted to do the negotiations for the Francis Ngannou fight himself. So someone's lying and someone's telling the truth. And I guess we'll never know which is which. But the thing with Jon Jones, and Ali Abdelaziz said this very, very recently, who is Kamaru Usman's manager and a few other notable UFC fighters too. He said, and I totally agree with him, big fight negotiations should never be done in public. And this is Jon's biggest problem, is he constantly puts his foot in his mouth and negotiates these things in broad daylight. He announced that he was coming down to, or going up to heavyweight from 205. He relinquished his belt. He made his power move. He hit the gym. He built up a load of strength, waited to the last minute to then negotiate. Well, Jon, the UFC doesn't need you to fight Francis Ngannou. They'll just put Ngannou versus Derek Lewis where you sit there and do nothing. With no belt, they don't care. You can't operate that way. And I'd imagine that's got something to do. Well, I know that First Round Management came out and said that their parting ways had nothing to do with the Ngannou negotiations. I just don't really believe that. I just don't. And I might be wrong. And, you know, they might be sitting there going, well, he doesn't know what he's talking about. But it's convenient timing, isn't it? Where Jon Jones has got into it personally, is negotiating out in the open, is getting into these war of words with Dana over Twitter, is getting into arguments on Twitter with other people. Like, I just worry about Jon Jones. I worry about his personality. I worry about his behaviour. I think it's erratic. I think it's weird. I think he needs help. But at the same time, he's one of the most gifted athletes. He is probably the most gifted athlete, talent-wise, on the UFC roster. As far as raw talent goes, Jon Jones is most likely number one. And I don't think I can think of a second. Raw talent. Maybe Khabib. But raw talent, Jon Jones is up there. So, I don't really know what to make of it. It will be interesting to see who picks Jon Jones up, whether he'll try and go it alone. But Jon's a very, very important part of his career. He's right at the peak of it, right at the cusp, where he's got to kind of just make the right decision now and start to take those really, really big fights to put a bow on his career. And if he's parted way with a management company that he's had for 11 years, then I don't know if he's made the right decision. Another reason they might have broken up is Jon Jones has constantly come out and said that he's been paid too little for what he's done. Well, who do you blame that on? You blame it on the management. It's the management's job to go out and get you what you think you're worth. You tell the management what you want. They go out and try and get it. They come back to you and go, we got this. Are you happy with it? And you go, yes or no. So the management aren't making deals behind Jon's back. They're getting his stamp of approval for it. But maybe the way that he's framed it in what he said has upset the management. I don't know. It's all speculation. But Jon will be to blame for what Jon gets paid. You don't blame the UFC for what you make. You sign the contract. You don't have to sign the contract, but you sign the contract, you win 2 fights, and all of a sudden, I don't like it. That's not how it works. Don't sign an 8-fight deal. Sign a 3-fight deal. Sign a 4-fight deal. Or don't sign one. I struggle with Jon Jones. And I think that's probably coming across. In any event, Jon Jones is in the market for new management. Do you want to hire him?